But all this is I laid to heart, examine it all, how the righteous and the wise and their deeds are in the hands of God. Whether it is love or hate, man does not know. Both are before him. It is the same for all, since the same event happened to the righteous and the wicked, to the good and the evil, to the clean and unclean, to him who sacrifices and him who does not sacrifice. As the good one is, so is the sinner, and he who swears is as he who shuns an oath. This is an evil in all that is done under the sun. That the same event happens to all. Isn't that true? How many times do we have bad things happen to everybody, don't they? The good and bad. And we ask questions why, don't we?
Yeah. Sometimes.
I always look back at my life and I always ask the question why did I have to be with my grandfather when he passed away at 12 years old on Christmas. We ask why, don't we? But it happens to all of us. Good things and bad things. None of us are immune to it, are we? Whether you're good or you're bad. God only promises one thing. That's that he will be with us through it all, doesn't he? And that's what we have to realize. And that's one of the main things. And then it goes back in I just lost my space. Verse 3, this is an evil in all that is done under the sun, that the same events happen to all. Also the hearts of children of men are full of evil, and badness in their heart while they live, and after that they go dead. But he who is joined with all the living has hope. For the living dog is better than the dead lion. For the living know that they will die, but the dead know nothing. And they have no more reward, for the memory of that is forgotten. Their love and their hate and their envy have already perished, and whoever they have no more shall in all that is done under the sun. You know?
What a comparison. A living dog to a dead lion. What significance?
Well, what are we all going to do? We're all going to die, aren't we?
Okay, here's what it says. The dog was one of the most unclean and despicable creatures.
Yep.
To the Jews. But even this kind of animal was better than a dead lion.
Mm-hmm. So when we're alive, we can do stuff, can't we? But does that mean we're going to go through pain and suffering? Definitely.
I know, I went through it.
Mm-hmm. And Solomon, he's reminding us here, isn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, he says, for knowing that they will die, but the dead know nothing, and they have no more rewards, do they? We know we're going to die sooner or later. There's one thing we're sure of in this life. Everybody's going to pass away. Doesn't mean we're going to go to heaven and have eternal life, but in this world, we know that.
Well, I know where my sister is. I really do. I really believe where she is. I know it with all my heart that she's in heaven.
But what happens lots of times when we pass away? Don't people forget us? A lot of people
Eventually, yeah.
I know from the cemetery, you watch the cemetery, what happens? The first year, people are there about every week. The second year, they come about every month. The third year, they come about every Memorial Day.
Yep.
So,
I don't even remember how long my brother's been dead, and I don't go to see his grave up there at Veterans.
yep.
And,
But that's what happens with life, don't it?
well, yeah.
Each one of us have, our lives are so long, and then after that, we don't have to really. We have heaven to go to, but we don't. here in this earth, people are eventually going to forget us, aren't they?
Like my dad, he's been dead almost 50 years now.
Yep.
My mother's been dead almost over 40. And it's like, I think about it every Easter because she died Easter Sunday night.
That's the way life is. We're all gonna perish, and eventually we get forgotten, don't we? So let's go to verse 7. Go eat your bread with joy and drink your wine with a merry heart, for God has already approved what you do. Let your garments be always white. Let not oil be lacking in your head. Enjoy life with the wife whom you love all the days of your vain life that has given you under the sun, because this is your portion in life and in your toil, at which you toil under the sun. Whatever your hands find to do, do it with your might. For there is no work and thought or knowledge or wisdom in Shiloh to which you are going. So wait a minute, we're supposed to enjoy life, aren't we? He's telling us to go out and enjoy it. You know, he's saying go out, have a good time. You know, you enjoy your wife. In other words, the wife God gave you. And then he says, you know, he says, and work. He says, actually work. Whatever your hands find, do with all your might. So we're supposed to work to God, aren't we? That's where a lot of people get wrong. They think I'm working for myself. When we do a job, who are we doing it for? People look at us and they think we're
doing it for God because that's what my grandmother taught me. She says, you may work for PennDOT, they may pay you, but you're actually working for Jesus. So you do your best because you're honoring God by doing your best. And they got me in trouble for doing my best.
But the thing is, we're also supposed to enjoy life with the ones we love, aren't we? That means your family, your wife, we're supposed to enjoy that time. We're supposed to take the time and enjoy it. So many families are out there fighting. Do they enjoy the time together? They don't. Mm-hmm. He's telling us enjoy it. You know, don't be lacking that. And then he goes on again in verse 11. Again I saw that under the sun, the race is not to be swift, nor the battle to be strong, nor bread to the wise, nor riches to the intelligent, nor favor to those who knowledge, but time and chance happen to them all. For man does not know his time, like fish that are taken in evil nets, and like birds that are caught in a snare. So the children of men are snared at the evil time, when it suddenly falls upon them. I have also seen this example of wisdom under the sun, and it seems too great to me. There was a little city with a few men in it, and a great king came against it, and besieged it, building great siege working against it. But there was found in it a poor wise man, and he, in his wisdom, delivered the city. Yet no one remembered the poor man. But I say that wisdom is better than the might, though the poor man's wisdom is despised, and his words are not heard. The words of the wise is heard in quiet are better than the shouting of the ruler among fools. Wisdom is better than weapons for war, but one sinner destroys much good. He starts talking about here first, you know, nobody knows how much time they have. He says it's like the fish swimming out there and the guy catches it in a net. That fish's life's over, isn't it? How many of us know people whose life was taken short and never expected? Every one of us do here. And he's reminding us that, you know, we need to enjoy what we have now. If we don't,
we're just going to die.
we don't know when the time's coming.
Yep.
You know, because you hear a lot of guys say, well, when I retire, then I'll take time to enjoy myself. How many people don't get to retirement? A lot of them.
My brother didn't, he
Yep.
was retired a year. It would have been a year on his 63rd birthday. And
We all know that. We all know somebody.
he died.
Yep. We all know somebody that died fast, and they never got to enjoy it. And then he uses the example of wisdom. You know, he talks about man. What did he do? He saved the city, didn't he? A poor man. Did he get any recognition for it?
No.
Nothing happened out of it, did it? He was never known for it. He was never remembered. But isn't that, the poor man was even despised of his words. And they're not even heard, are they? But you gotta remember, the wise man was better off than the rest of them, wasn't he? Because it says here, the words of the wise heard in quiet are better than the shouting of the rulers among fools. How many of us don't like to take advice from somebody wiser? I work with teenagers, so I hear it all the time. I'll tell them, you shouldn't be doing that. And they'll say, well, my friend said it's okay. Wait a minute, if we're telling you, we're older than you, we're wiser than you, what you're doing, why don't they listen?
Because they listen to their friends more than they listen to their parents.
Well, no, we even do it as adults.
Yeah.
We get advice on stuff to do.
Mm-hmm.
We get advice on stuff to do, don't we? And do we listen? Kim gives me advice all the time. She'll tell me when I'm doing something wrong.
You listen?
I do sometimes. But, yeah, I'll grumble and growl, but then I usually, lots of times, then I'll think of what she said, and then I'll do it. But
And it works out better, doesn't it?
it does, but you know, that's hard. That's one of the hardest things, is to take advice from somebody else, isn't it?
Well, we always say when you get older, I didn't get this old by being stupid.
Oh, I have to remember.
Well, you're
that.
supposed to, wisdom's supposed to come with gray hair.
Well, then I see it.
The gray head's a crown of glory.
Because it said in the last verse, wisdom is better than weapons of war, but one sinner destroys much good. If we have wisdom, or listen to what God's word says, well, how can we go wrong? It doesn't mean we're not going to have problems, but if we're listening to God's word, we're going to have less problems, aren't we? And that's where a lot of people don't understand. They say, well, if you're a Christian, you do this and that. Well, I still have problems. Well, yeah, but you're going to have less problems.
Well, it rains on the just and the unjust.
Yeah.
So, you know, wisdom is a good thing to have. And we need to listen to other people that are giving us wisdom. If they've been through that somebody else is going through, they can help you with the hard times, can't they?
Yeah, because they already went through it and they know it.
Yeah, but we have to accept it first.
Yeah.
Most of us are hard-headed, and we want to do it our way. And what happens?
We
We pay the price.
Yep.
We do. And that's what Solomon's trying to get through to us. You know, he didn't want people to make the same mistakes. He was trying to help them. But he also knew that everything under the sun is going to happen to each one of us, isn't it? We're going to have the problems. We're going to have the good times. We're also going to have to live our life and enjoy what we have. So, let's close in prayer. Let's go to prayer.